Hello Pokemon trainers, welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet video here on iStarly TV. This is part of my Battle Stadium Singles Road to Master series where I try to climb the online Battle Stadium Singles ladder. Today I have a new team to show off, if you can see on the screen. This is showcasing Hawlucha in Battle Stadium Singles. Hawlucha is a unique Pokemon that I think has a lot going for it. It's got a decent attack stat and a really good speed stat, so it's naturally fast. On top of that, it has the Unburden ability, which doubles its speed if its held item is consumed in battle. And so the way that we get that going is with the Grassy Seed, which will be consumed if it's in Grassy Terrain and boost its defense stat. And of course, we have Arboliva on the team that you see at the top right there. I'll go over Arboliva in a little bit here, but the goal here is to get an Arboliva, take a hit, which triggers the Seed Sower ability and summons Grassy Terrain, and then eventually we go into Hawlucha, get that Grassy Seed going and Unburden going, and try to sweep. The moves we have are Swords Dance, High Jump Kick, Acrobatics, and Iron Head. Acrobatics is doubled in power if the holder does not have an item, and so of course with our Grassy Seed gone, Hawlucha no longer has an item, so this is a 110 power move, which is almost as powerful as Brave Bird with no recoil, so that's really good. As for the fighting type coverage, I've landed on High Jump Kick here just because I just want the power. I started with Drain Punch when I was testing this team on Showdown, and it's a fine move if you're trying to go bulkier. I think if there's a world where you want to run bulk up on Hawlucha, maybe Drain Punch is a little bit better, but I just want the raw power for High Jump Kick. Close Combat is also an option, and in fact, if I'm being honest, maybe Close Combat is the way you want to go. But of course, it does lower your defense, which kind of counteracts the Grassy Seed. So maybe there's a world where I do want Close Combat, so I'll have to keep that in mind. Maybe I'll end up switching that at some point. But to start off, we're just going to go with High Jump Kick, which is still a risky move, but pretty good. And then finally, I have Iron Head with a Steel Terra type. I just felt like Steel Terra is a good defensive Terra for Hawlucha. It kind of covers a lot of your weaknesses that people will try to hit you with. And then Iron Head is just a decent move here. And with Hawlucha being so fast, you have the chance to flinch the opposing Pokemon. So that's a good spot to be in. I've gone ahead and gone max HP, max attack, given that we have the defense boost and we already have so much speed after Unburden triggers that we're going to be faster than everything anyway. So I wanted to just put that in HP just to see how that goes. There might be a world where we want it in speed anyway, just in case there's a situation where we have Hawlucha on the battlefield with no Grassy Terrain, so it can still be decently fast, but I think we're fine with just this right here for now. Now we'll talk about Arboliva. This Pokemon's actually surprisingly good, and I think this Pokemon even has potential to be brought even without Hawlucha. It has a lot of really good defenses. Its defensive stats are really good, and a really high special attack stat. Now, to put it into perspective, Arboliva's special attack stat is the same as Hydreigon's, which is really good. And from there, I'm going max HP, max special attack with a Focus Sash. So the goal here is to take a hit and then either retaliate with a super powerful Leaf Storm or one of those other moves, or go for a Memento to automatically faint and go right into Hawlucha. So there are games where I've brought Arboliva without even bringing Hawlucha. So hopefully we'll show that off. I guess this video is kind of showcasing two unique Pokemon. And yeah, I just think this is a great Pokemon. Ignore the Terra Rock type. I caught this in a raid, and I didn't want to change the Terra type just because it's so rare that we ever want to Terrastalize Arboliva anyway. After that, we have the tried and true Fairy Skeledirge, bulky Skeledirge. This is just a fantastic Pokemon that's capable of sometimes single-handedly taking on teams by itself. It's just so good. So why not bring it? It fits on almost every team, and it's just really a really good pivot for something like Hawlucha. From there, the rest of these Pokemon are a little less common. We have Goldango with Choice Scarf here just for that extra speed. We also have Trick to try to kind of incapacitate annoying Pokemon and lock them into moves with the Choice Scarf. And then we have decent coverage with Shadow Ball, Make It Rain, and Thunderbolt. Goldango's just a good Pokemon. After that, the last two Pokemon are actually pretty interesting. Let's start by talking about Scizor here. This is not, unfortunately, my beautiful shiny Scizor. I thought about converting that Scizor into this one, just changing the Terra type to Steel and then rearranging the EVs. But I just wanted to build a new one. Plus, regular Scizor is just as cool as shiny Scizor. But the goal here is with Choice Band, you can Terra Steel and then go for Bullet Punch, which can hit really, really hard. And I felt like this rounded out my team decently because it gives me some strong priority. Finally, we have Hydreigon, but not the way that you'd expect. I love Hydreigon, and it's funny because this is my first time actually putting a Hydreigon on a team that I built myself. We've got the Citrus Berry with Terra Steel, which is one of Hydreigon's best Terra types. So we have 3 Pokemon with Terra Steel on this team. And we're actually running Stealth Rock, which is pretty unique. You don't really see that on Hydreigon, but I wanted a Stealth Rocker on this team that's not my usual Stealth Rockers like Garchomp or Glimmora, both of whom use Focus Sash, and of course I'm already using my Focus Sash, so I just wanted a different Stealth Rocker here. And I also had the idea of running a bulky Hydreigon just to kind of throw some people off, and it's been working decently well. Now, it's possible that I'm trying too many different unique things on Hydreigon here, like bulky Hydreigon's good, and Stealth Rock Hydreigon is good, but it's possible trying to jam those two together might not be it. But we'll find out. We'll find out right there. And then from there, I'm just running good coverage moves. So that's the team. Hopefully we can showcase some decent Hawlucha games. I also have the beautiful shiny. I forgot to mention that. You know, we're bringing back the tradition of showcasing Pokemon that are awesome and shiny. So let's get into some games and just see how it goes. And we've got our first battle here. Something I forgot to mention is that Pokemon that Hawlucha typically fears are unaware Pokemon like Dondozo and Skeledirge. So luckily, I'm not seeing that on this team, and this actually looks like a game where Hawlucha can have a decent shot here. They have a lot of Pokemon that are weak to flying, and then some that are actually weak to fighting. Of course, terrestrializing is a thing, but I think this is a good shot for Hawlucha. And whenever I see Hippo, so I want to bring Hawlucha, I want to bring Arboliva. Whenever I see Hippo, I do expect rocks and sand, which is also admittedly a little awkward for Hawlucha, or I'm sorry, for Arboliva. Aside from those two though, honestly, I think Skeledirge is just solid here. Thing about Skeledirge versus Hydreigon though, is Hydreigon typically has Flash Cannon. So it's funny, like, as a fire and ghost type, Skeledirge can take Flash Cannons but won't take Dark Pulses from Hydreigon, and then as a Fairy type, it can take Dark Pulses but it can't take Flash Cannons, so that's a little scary. I guess they do also have Rotom, which I need to be wary of. Rotom is usually Terra Fairy. In that case, I wonder if I just go Goldango as my third, or maybe my own Hydreigon just to take on theirs. I think I want to lead Arboliva, and then I do think I will bring Hydreigon. We'll kind of see there. I mean, Skeledirge has a lot more sustain, but I probably honestly should have brought Skeledirge. It's just really good against their whole team except for Hydreigon. And hopefully, you know, or presumably I would have other ways of dealing with Hydreigon. So, I mean, namely Hawlucha, but we're going to see how this plays out. And my opponent's going to lead with Tauros. Interesting. So I did play a team with Paldean and Tauros on it. So they actually, notably, they did not have Intimidate here. I think I'm just going to go for Earth Power just to get off a lot of damage against them. I could go Memento just to lower their stats, but I think this is a fine move on my part. They go Raging Bull, which is actually, I survived that even if I didn't have Focus Sash, so that's pretty interesting. But I'm going to get off a really strong Earth Power here. This should do a lot of damage, and it actually knocks them out. So that really showcases the power of Arboliva. Arboliva actually is a really strong Pokemon, surprisingly, and I think people typically don't expect it. So I'm already up to a pretty solid start here. They're going to go into Rotom now, and there's no reason for me to not just go Leaf Storm here. It kind of forces their hand. They go Thunderbolt to knock me out. Makes a lot of sense here. And I mean, I have some decisions to make now. Typically, Rotom is Terra Fairy. Do I just go Hawlucha? I think I have to just go Hawlucha now, right? Oh, it's all about the prediction game now. They could also have Will-O-Wisp. See, Rotom has so many options, but like I said, I kind of feel like if I don't go into Hawlucha now, then, you know, I'm not going to really have a chance for it. So now it's all about predicting. Are they going to be Choice? Are they going to be Terra Fairy? Do they have Will-O-Wisp? Those are the 3 questions I need to ask, and honestly, I kind of feel like it's anyone's guess. Maybe their team will signify what they have. I feel like just by looking at their team, I kind of feel like they're a little bit more likely to have, like, to be just more purely offensive, which means I don't think they're going to have, Will-O-Wisp. So I'm going to Terra here just so I can take the Thunderbolt, and then I'm going to set up a Swords Dance. I'm going to be faster than them, even if they're Choice Scarfed. And maybe if they Terra Fairy, that's actually perfect for me, because they could Terra Fairy thinking that they're going to hit me with like a Fairy type move, but I mean, they went for Thunderbolt, so they also have a super effective move in T-Bolt. So they go Thunderbolt here. Okay. And given that they did not Terrastalize, I'm just going to go High Jump Kick now. They might have been saving it, that's possible. But I'm at +2 attack. I'm faster than everything they have. They don't have any ghost types, right? Go High Jump Kick and it connects. And a one-hit KO. Beautiful. That's all I needed Hawlucha to do. I just wanted to showcase Hawlucha and we did it. So now my Hawlucha is terrifying. We've got +2 speed, +2 attack, +1 defense. I don't think they have anything that can take this. So like I said, typically Hydreigon is Terra Steel, although if they're Terra Poison, that could be really bad for me. But I think my best bet is just go for that stab, presumably super effective High Jump Kick, and we take them out. Beautiful. They didn't Terrastalize at all that battle, so that's pretty interesting. Maybe they were just Terra Steel and they were just like, there's no reason to Terrastalize because I'm going to die one way or the other. So showcasing the true power of both Arboliva and Hawlucha in that game. I don't think the opponent saw that coming, but yeah, game 1, we have a great win, a great Hawlucha sweep, which is kind of what we're trying to do on this team. And like I said, the first question I tend to ask myself when I see the opposing team is, do they have Dondozo? Do they have Skeledirge? Do they have Goldango? Those are the 3 kind of, I feel like those are the 3, and even Corviknight, those are like the 4 worst Pokemon for Hawlucha. If they have like any one of those, or if they have 2 of those, then I'm definitely not bringing Hawlucha. But anyways, great game 1. Let's go to game 2. And game 2, they also have some interesting Pokemon on their team. They have Kingambit, which is actually kind of scary. Kingambit's a Pokemon that I actually don't like to see because it has pretty good defensive typing, and it also has usually Sucker Punch, and it's just a scary Pokemon. I think Hydreigon's pretty strong against Kingambit, though. Hydreigon also looks pretty solid overall. As a Terra Steel type, it can basically wall Garchomp. They do have a Hydreigon of their own, but I do like Hydreigon. What about Hawlucha? Like that's always the big question, right? Do I bring Hawlucha? And I think I do. I'm going to be afraid of that Skeledirge, but aside from that, I do like what Hawlucha can do here. So my question now is, which of these 2 am I going to lead with? I guess it's... I think I want to lead Arboliva. I think I want to lead Arboliva. I think having Hydreigon in the back is nice to potentially take on their Skeledirge late game, but we'll see. Azumarill is also something to not forget about because that's a Pokemon that can also do some work and hit decently hard, and Aqua Jet is a thing, so I do need to be aware of that as well. But I think I like how I brought this team. Like I said, I mean, Arboliva has a strong matchup against all of their Pokemon. They actually lead with their own Hydreigon, which I'm happy to see. And they could be Terra Steel if they're smart. If they know anything about Arboliva, they'll know that I don't really have moves that can hit a Terra Steel Pokemon, but I'm just going to go Dazzling Gleam here. Oh my goodness, they Nasty Plot. No way. Wow. Okay, well, this is the benefit of running a Pokemon like Arboliva, a Pokemon that people just don't typically see very often. Because they didn't know that I have Dazzling Gleam, and that is just going to one-hit KO them. Yeah, so Arboliva hits really hard. I mean, I know I've said that already. It's just so fun to say. They go into Glaceon now. I'm just going to go Leaf Storm. If they're faster, which is likely to be the case, and they hit me with like a strong Ice-type move, I'll summon Grassy Terrain and then just hit them back with a really powerful Grassy Terrain boosted Leaf Storm. So I feel like I'm in a really comfortable position here, and they do go for that Ice Beam. It goes right to my Sash, so that's a lot of damage, but Glaceon's a strong special attacker. And then I'm going to go Leaf Storm, and that is going to take them to their Focus Sash. Is that right? I guess not. They just happen to live with like 2 HP. But now, of course, I am going to be dead. I'm going to go Leaf Storm again. Actually, I should have gone Memento. It doesn't matter, though. I'm going to go Leaf Storm again just in case they happen to switch out. I can hit whatever comes in for as much damage as possible. Of course, they just go ahead and knock me out with that Ice Beam. Now I'm free to go into Hawlucha, and I'm just going to knock out the Glaceon. I'm not going to mess around here. I'm just going to knock out the Glaceon with the Iron Head. Now the question is whether or not I Terra here. Because the thing is, if they have Ice Shard, I think Glaceon gets Ice Shard. If they have Ice Shard, I mean, I do have a defense boost, so it might not matter if they have Ice Shard. Once again, I do have to worry about that King Gambit in the back, but I'm going to go ahead and Iron Head here, knock them out. They do not have Ice Shard, and it's 2v1 now, and I think both of my last Pokemon are decently positioned against King Gambit, so I do like where I'm at in this battle. They do have King Gambit. That thing is scary. I do have a defense boost, and I resist Sucker Punch, so all I need to do here is hit this high jump kick. That's it. That's all I need to do. They do Terra. I forgot they hadn't Terra'd. Is it Terra Dark, please? It is Terra Dark. I think that's pretty common, because that'll give their Sucker Punches extra damage. So... like I said, all I need to do is hit this. Oh, I do. Oh no, they live. Guillotine. What? Okay. Well, I think that's game then. Now I'm... They're Terra Dark. Oh, I just go Acrobatics here. I was going to say now I'm going to Terra Steel to get more damage on the Iron Head, but then that makes me take neutral damage from a Sucker Punch. So, wow, that game... King Gambit is terrifying, honestly. I think I need to focus. I think I need to make a team with a shiny King Gambit. I don't have one yet, but I'm gonna find one and make a team with it, because that Pokemon, all the times I've faced it, it's terrifying. Anyways, that was a great battle, yeah. And once again, that really showcased the surprise power that both Arboliva and Hawlucha have. All right, we're 2-0. Let's go to the last one. And their team is fun, scary. They have Triple Dragon. They have a couple Unaware Pokemon. The thing with Clodsire has Unaware, but I've actually run into a couple and seen a couple that are running Water Absorb. So it actually has a couple different options for its ability. Now, the big question is, what are we going to bring? And I don't know what their Dragapult set is going to be. I like Arboliva here. This could also just be a game with Terra Steel Scizor to just kind of punch through their team. But if they're Terra Steel Hydreigon, that's a problem. I don't know. This is scary. I still think I like Hawlucha though, but bringing Arboliva and Hawlucha, I feel like that just really kind of, you know, takes a lot of what I want. I think Goldango's in a good spot against this team. Can I check its summary real quick? 143. I think that's... Yeah, I think that'll outspeed Dragapult. So that'll outspeed their whole team. So I want to bring Goldango here. The question is, what else do I bring? I'd like to bring the Hawlucha combo, but I just kind of feel like they have too many things that are good against it. Although the funny thing is, I think Arboliva is decent here. I think I'm going to bring Arboliva, Scizor, and Goldango. Honestly, I probably should have brought Skeledirge, but it's funny because Skeledirge, like, I have a lot of Pokemon here that are like generally good against their Pokemon, but if they Terra into like a certain type, then I'm not. Like, for example, Baxcalibur is weak to Bullet Punch, but if they're like Terra Fire, then it's not, and then I'm in a bad spot. The same is true for like their Skeledirge, but they actually lead Dragapult, which is actually really bad for me if they have Dragon Darts, which, I mean, why wouldn't they have Dragon Darts, right? I can make an extremely risky play here and go into Goldango. Actually, that's not that risky though, because yeah, that's not that risky because they're not going to go for the Shadow Ball because I'm a normal type, right? Right? That's how that works, right? The thing is, though, so I take, assuming they go Dragon Darts here, I'm going to take that really well. Oh, they go Light Screen. Okay, interesting. Okay. That's not that surprising, but what that means is if they go for if they have double screens, I mean, I don't like where this is going, if I'm being honest. I'm just going to go Shadow Ball because it's going to be super effective. If they're double screens, their last moves, I guess they could have like Dragon Darts and Shadow Ball or something like that, which is good for them. But if they only have Shadow Ball or Hex, then, you know, that means Arboliva can wall it. And if they only have Dragon Darts, that means Goldango can wall it. They go into Skeleturge, which is going to take decent damage here. I mean, obviously they have the light screen up, but that still does good damage to them. And I get the special defense drop. That's perfect. Now I can't Terra because I'm Terra Steel, so it'll just I'm still going to be weak to Torch Song if I do that. I'm just going to stay in Shadow Ball again. I think I can live a Torch Song, especially given that they're leftovers. That means they're likely to be the typical Skeleturge set, which is just physical attack, or I'm sorry, max HP, max defense. So I'm pretty sure I can take a Torch Song here. If I happen to get super lucky and get a special defense drop again, that's perfect, but I shouldn't really expect that. Oh, they're Terra Normal. Okay, well, that's surprising too. Terra Normal, I think, is starting to pick up a little more as well. Yeah, so that's good for them. Usually they're Terra Fairy, so that's what I was expecting. They go Torch Song now. And, oh, wow, they just one-hit KO me. Oh, that's a critical hit. Okay, interesting. Terra Normal. This is really interesting. I could go Scizor and go close combat. The funny thing is, like I've said, if their Skeleturge has some speed investment, they're going to be faster than me. I'm thinking of going Arboliva. They still have the light screen up, though. Oh my goodness, I have to make a decision here. I'm gonna go Arboliva. I think... it's like... Oh, I went Scizor! I clicked Arboliva, but I think I took too long. Oh, wow. This could be game, y'all. I wanted to go Arboliva and go for Leaf Storm, and if they're faster, then it'll be Grassy Terrain boosted Leaf Storm, which I think will do a lot of damage. Now, this situation is if they're faster than me, it's GG. I don't have time to check either. I think I just Terra Steel and then close combat them. Terra Steel Bullet Punch is gonna be what, like 90, like 100 something damage. So this is gonna be a lot more damage. If I'm faster than them, this doesn't matter. The reason I'm terrestrializing now is because it means I take less damage from Torch Song. If I'm Bug and Steel, obviously I'm 4 times weak to Fire, but if I'm just Steel... I mean, they did already go for Torch Song though, so they're at +1 special attack, so it might not matter anyway. But if I'm faster, then this also just doesn't matter because I think I just kill them. They go Yawn. Wow, that's really surprising. Okay, well, if I can knock out the Skeleturge, that's perfect. If I can knock out the Skeleturge without losing really too much of anything, which is kind of what's happened, that's great. So now they go into something else, and I get to go into Arboliva. Now, a worst case scenario is if they have Baxcalibur. If they go into Baxcalibur right now and they set up a Dragon Dance, and then they also have Icicle Spear, that's really bad for me because what they're doing there is they're setting up while also being able to kill my Arboliva in one hit. Because my Arboliva has Focus Sash, any regular move will have to take me down to my Focus Sash first. So now they go into Dragapult. I'm going to go right back into Arboliva here. And I think I can just spam Dazzling Gleam. They've already Terastallized, so that's great information for me. I'm just going to spam Dazzling Gleam. There's no reason not to. If their Dragapult only has a Ghost type move for its attacking move, then they can't do anything to me. I guess they could have like Will-O-Wisp. So I go Dazzling Gleam, and it doesn't do that much. Oh, no way. That's annoying, but now I can go Earth Power, which is also fine. I'm gonna go Leaf Storm now, just to get off as much damage as possible, because I think it'll do more than Earth Power. And then they're gonna go for a move, and then I think I'm just gonna go Memento. I know I'm faster though. They're probably gonna recover. All right, so we get another win there. That's 3 wins with this team, and I think the team really showcased Arboliva's strength, and I mean, Choice Banded Scizor closed out that game, so it was a lot of fun. This was a great game, a great series, and I hope you enjoyed. I'll post I'll post a code for this team if anyone's interested. And in the future, I might want to try different things with Hawlucha, like maybe Psychic Terrain and Bulk Up, which sounds fun with Psychic Seed. But otherwise, yeah, I think this is a lot of fun, and I think the games went really well, and I'm really happy I got to showcase Hawlucha's power. So thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe for more videos like this. And let me know in the comments if there's any Pokemon you'd like to see me try out. Thank you very much.